after Medag. Very good afternoon. I'm Dheeraj Talreja. I'm president for AAK India. I and my team are accountable for business in the Indian subcontinent, which includes India and other South Asian countries, which is Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, etc. As we know that India is a large economy, and it's growing at the rate of 6 to 7%, and most of the growth is coming via consumption growth. What I'll be doing, I'll be sharing with you about AAK India and its transformation journey. I'll be spending some time to share with you about from where we are coming as an organization and how we see way forward and our aspiration for future. So as you can see that we started our journey in India in 2015 with a joint venture company with 51% shareholding over there, which gradually moved to 100% shareholding in 2020. The transformation journey for us in India started in 2020 with a clear focus and execution of a strategy of shaping our future. And the strategy was and is focused on three execution pillars on people, performance, and culture, which I will talk in my subsequent slides. If you really see that today, AAK India contributes 35% of Asia volumes and have close to 500 talented employees working in the company. We supply to 100 key national and global accounts, and we work with 90 distributors, which help us to serve the rest of the market. As you can see that, 80% of AAK India's business is coming from 7 to 8 states, which is highlighted in gray, and which are in close proximity to our manufacturing plants. And as I mentioned that, we started our transformation journey in 2020, as you can see over there. We started, first step that we did was that to have the right organization in place to drive the strategy execution. The customer strategy and product strategy was reviewed, and we really looked at, what products will support our journey of shaping our future. Key account management concept was rolled out with a clear focus that we wanted to provide a differentiated services to our national accounts and global accounts. And this helped us to really move the needle in the right direction with that. And these differentiated services included update on co-development projects, update on raw materials, update on consumer trends, update on food safety aspects of it, because we as AAK have all those expertise in-house in our company. And that really helped us to improve the quality for our business. The product portfolio optimization that we started as a part of this journey, we decided to cut the long tail in our business or product portfolio. This helped us to drive focus on specialty products and make the life easier for our go-to-market organization with that. Overall, 37% of SKUs we withdrew as a part of this process actually. And the result, as we can see that from 2020 onward, we started seeing the improvement in the quality of our business in terms of EBIT and EBIT per kg. Overall, 15% of our volumes are coming from the new products which we launched in last 24 months. We did actually. Now, having said that, let me take a deep dive into value creation journey for India. Johan shared with 4 quadrants of the business, the portfolio strategy over there. We were able to move fast in CCF, chocolate confectionery, and special nutrition and health segment. And there, the key focus or key driver for us to drive the growth was around co-development. And what did we do in that? We focused on reducing the conversion time in co-development from ideation to product launch. And we were successful in reducing the conversion time close to around 50%. And what this helped us faster introduction of new solutions, faster introduction of specialty products in these accounts with that. Additional driver in this particular segment of health portfolio, we introduced pharma compliant or lipid-based pharmaceutical solutions to various pharma companies. AAK India is an approved site to supply pharma compliant oils and fat to various global and national pharmaceutical companies with that. And this really moved the needle for us in the case of specialty journey. Bakery and dairy and food service, these are very large segments with very small customers and very scattered actually. So the focus for us in that segment was primarily to look for market-driven solutions so that we can drive scalability in that particular piece of the business, at the same time driving optimization of the product portfolio. We decided to take two-speed approach, actually, or a different speed was taken up for invest in continued growth and optimize for value creation, while we wanted to keep an eye for the evolving segments in India market, which is on bet for future and maintain and cultivate. So what we did was that in bet for future segment, we started exploring plant-based food, personal care, and technical products. And the key lever that we used was around collaboration. So these segments are new. The investors and the manufacturers were looking for go-to partner which can help them to have faster launch of the product. And that's where we sit in the mid of the value chain. We were in the best position to support this journey, to accelerate this journey of from ideation to launch. And we did formal collaboration with Good Food Institute of India and also with key co-manufacturers, which is Vista Foods, as well as B-Veg, to really support, drive the plant-based food segment. The fourth quadrant, which is maintain and cultivate, for us, this is still on a discovery phase. We are trying to map the industry, trying to map what are the value drivers over there, how the demands are over there, and so that we can prepare ourselves for future in terms of bringing the right offerings over there. So the focused actions on all these four quadrants, or the portfolio strategy, really helped us to drive margin expansion, as we saw in the previous slide, and at the same time continue preparing us for future opportunities and growth, actually. As we see as AAK India, I think we all saw in Johan's slide that, that as AAK, we have multiple legs. AAK India also, we operate in various industry segments, right from chocolate confectionery to special nutrition, to bakery, to dairy, to personal care, across with that. And what it is that it does is for us, the broad product offerings, as well as serving to customers in various segments, de-risk us from any demand destruction that we see in one segment. Just to share an example with that, during COVID actually scenario, while chocolate and confectionery industry was considered not as an essential, so the chocolate confectionery manufacturer was not able to produce chocolates because, but special nutrition segment was growing faster. And that really is a demonstration of an example that while the demand was destroyed because the manufacturer was not able to produce, but we could see that, the other special nutrition business started growing with that. As I shared, that additional focus that I mentioned was around key account management focus or key account management approach, which was primarily to drive growth strategy with national accounts and global accounts. The focus for us is to be a partner of choice for the current needs and the future needs. And the key account management approach, where we worked on differentiated service offerings, really helped us to improve our quality of business and a share of wallet over there. The business contribution, as we can see clearly from national accounts and global accounts, increased from 45% to 75%. This helped in reducing our dependence on distributors also, and which in turn really helps us to have a better quality of the business, better predictability of the business, and better control of the business with that. So until now, I shared about, about our transformation journey, starting with strategy execution and focus on the critical enablers. But I think the question comes at, okay, what we did to really make it happen, what how we created the right environment to execute the strategy with that. As I mentioned in my previous slide that, we have 3 execution pillars under people, performance, and culture. So first step that we did, as I shared, that we started with having the right organization in place to drive the strategy execution. And we moved to a segment-focused organization to focus execution of the strategies with that. At the same time, we are in B2B business and a specialty business with that. It is very important that we should focus on capability building. So the second step for us was to drive the capability building of our go-to-market organization and the complete organization. Year to date, if I share with that, close to 2,000 hours have been spent on training for the people in Indian organization. At the same time, making better communities happen under Pragati. Pragati is a name for our corporate social impact program. Pragati in English means progress. And our corporate social program progress is based on fundamentals of UNDP Sustainable Development Goals, AAK India or AAK as a group, we are proud to support few initiatives which is around health, which is around women empowerment, which is around sanitation, which is around availability of clean drinking water, which is around green energy as the key focus areas. So that's what, we make it better communities happen around us. The pillar of performance, if I talk about it, is around focus on execution of strategy and focus on critical enablers. One of the examples that I shared in a product portfolio rationalization or optimization, where we withdrew 37% of our SKUs, that really brought a clear focus on what products we need to sell and a very tangible value drivers, which really helped us to move the needle in the right direction. If I talk about the culture of this one, which is a third pillar, I mean, the journey started with alignment and agreement on better behaviors of passionate, accountability, collaboration, and agility. And we moved at the same time, after we acquired 100% shareholding, we moved to a new workplace, which was a great step towards driving collaboration. We also got recognized as Great Place to Work organization with that, and we are looking forward for entering into the next round in 2023. Quarterly town halls, sharing an update to all the associates in the organization really helped people to develop a sense of accountability and belongingness over there. The new Customer Innovation Center is supporting close to 800 co-development projects, and these projects are focused on data-driven so that we are able to provide a tangible benefit to the customers and addressing the key value proposition for our customers over there. Having talked about from where we are coming and what we did with that, now let me give you a little bit perspective about India's market. So that's what India's market looks like, and why it is an attractive market and why it is important. So the total market size for India for specialty oils and fat is 1.7 million metric tons. And there is a high room of growth in per capita consumption in all the categories where we as AAK operate. Let me give us a couple of examples of that. Chocolate and confectionery, the average per capita consumption in India is 200 grams. And with a population of 1.4 billion, versus the consumption in Europe and America is 6 to 7 kilograms. Think about it, if from 200 grams, every Indian start, and we have a sweet tooth actually. Many of you, if you have been to India, you know that we eat a lot of one state from where a prime minister comes actually. Everything, sugar is added in everything. You have main course, you have sugar in that. You have bread, you have sugar in that. Think about it, if India changes the consumption, which is going on from 200 grams to 400 grams per capita, we are talking about 280,000 metric tons of chocolate to be produced more. And that's an opportunity for AAK with the chocolate fats and the offerings that we do. Bakery actually, 2.1 kilogram is the per capita consumption of bakery products versus 8 to 10 kilogram in Europe and Americas. From 2 kilogram, if I say we switch to 4 kilogram, which is just double of that, we are talking about 2.8 million metric tons of bakery production need to be done, which means a massive production which will have to do it. And if you know of any bakery, industrial baker who want to put a plant in India, please pass on this message. That's something another one could be there. At the same time, the population growth, India is the fastest growing in terms of population. Close to 25 million babies are getting born on an annual basis, which will continue supporting growth in the special nutrition segment for us. So while you can say, okay, is it the size in the India market which makes it attractive? No, not at all. It's not the size which only makes India as an attractive market. The key consumer trends which Johan shared in his previous slides in the strategy update, we see these trends in India market, very visible over there. The key consumer trends that we see in India around health, indulgence, premiumization, differentiation, at the same time, natural and sustainability. So these are the trends that are visible in the India market also. And with our access to various industry segments across the industries, we are well positioned to leverage these emerging consumer trends. And all these consumer trends position AAK as go-to partner when it comes to multi-oil ingredient solutions. Now, as I shared about the past, about the market with that, how do we see way forward? As we see for way forward for 2030, we see AAK India to be a bigger part of AAK global business, and we aspire to grow our EBIT by 3 to 5 times by 2030. And you can ask where the growth is going to come. The growth is going to come by growing faster than the market growth rate, which is our updated strategy and our aspiration. At the same time, focus on specialty solutions, which impacts our price mix bucket over there. At the same time, expanding our portfolio in health, actually. As I shared that we supply to pharmaceutical companies, so continue adding more portfolio as a part of that business. And additionally is on export, actually, to continue expanding our offerings and sales to other South Asian countries from India. As Thomas and Johan has shared that, and I talked in my previous slide also, that 80% of AAK's India business before this acquisition was announced was coming from 6 to 7 or 8 states around our plant, actually. To support continued growth, we announced acquisition of Arani Agro Oil just last week. The acquisition will strengthen our position in southeast of India, and the potential for this particular geography is close to 500 to 600,000 metric tons. And this has a high concentration of strategic customers in that location with that. And this is what AAK India 2.0 looks like in terms of our geographical coverage as we talk about it. We'll invest close to 200 to 300 million SEK, which includes acquisition considerations in this value. And we'll start introducing multi-oil specialty ingredients from this particular location. Additional advantage is that this region is also developing as a raw material hub, so which gives an opportunity for us to drive better community impact and on an overall operation basis. And we expect this transaction to be closed in this quarter. To conclude my remarks for India business or the Indian subcontinent business, we as AAK India is committed to make it happen. The robust economic outlook provides attractive business opportunities for us in the segments that we operate. The key consumer trends around health, premiumization, differentiation, nutrition, and sustainability will continue supporting our specialty journey in India. And with our laser-sharp focus on customers, we expect to maintain our position as preferred partner of choice for various key accounts. And with a detailed business plan for 2030 and committed and talented team, we aim to be the first choice for Indian food, health, and nutrition industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Earlier on, you told me that every Indian name has a meaning.
Yes.
And we can change the positions here. And your name is Dheeraj, as we heard, and that means what?
Patience.
Patience, yes.
Yes.
Yes. And
so you've been patient listening to me. Thanks a lot for that.
No, this is a very good word, because this was what I was going to ask you about. There are so many things that are happening fast in India, but there are so many things that you have to be patient with as well.
Absolutely. We have multiple legs, actually. So some legs are moving faster, actually. Some legs are moving slower. So we need to be patient on the segments which I think is plant-based food, actually, which is one which we are seeing evolving, yeah.
And there are so many opportunities. It's amazing. Is there anything else that you want to mention that can happen in the near future that we didn't hear here in your presentation?
I'll say a couple of things. If I put the lens as a consumer over there, India is the developing economy with the youngest population. And as I talked about, 25 million babies, actually, just another statistics just to put that, out of the 1,000 babies getting born in the world, 172 are Indians. And that creates an opportunity for, premium products when it comes to infant formulas with that. At the same time, middle class is growing, which in turn impacts all the food categories where we as AAK operate. So that's on the consumer landscape per se with that. Now let's look at the regulators' perspective or from the government perspective. So food safety regulators of India, they have started looking at upgrading the food safety standards. At the same time, also open for approving the multi-oil specialty ingredients. And when this happens, this creates an opportunity for a company like AAK with us. We talked about infant formulas in China, so OPO, which is one of our product for infant formula. This is under approval process as of now. And this will be one of the offering that we'll be able to serve to Indian consumers, the Indian babies in terms of health and nutrition as we go ahead. So these are a couple of things that I see that are going to come on the top of that.
Exciting. Let's start with the people here in the hall. Any questions? Yes, Petronella, please. And Johan is here as well. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks for the very interesting presentation. I just had a question on the competitive landscape in India. I think, if I got the number right, it was a 1.7 million ton specialty oil and fat market. Obviously, I think your volumes are quite a bit lower than maybe your share of the global specialty oil and fat market in India. Who are the other competitors? Is it still very fragmented? And when we think back to the comments on M&A from the earlier presentation, is there potentially a lot more to go for here in terms of bolt-on M&A?
Yes, as I mentioned, that the market offers a lot of opportunities with that. So definitely we'll continue looking for new opportunities in India market. I think the current focus for us is to really integrate Arani Agro Oil and move faster on that particular egg. So that's the thing. But in short, yes, as we said, that M&A is one of a part of a strategy. We'll continue looking for right opportunities with that, because the game for us is not about volumes actually. While we said 1.7 million metric tons, it's value over volume for us. But yes, if something interesting comes up, might be that we'll share about that. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue with the submitted question and then to you, Petronella. Bra, tack, du har koll där. It's from Per Jörgensen. Do we know him, Johan?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. From INT Asset Management. His question is, how much capacity do Arani give to AAK? Can AAK India with Karmani and Arani be seen as big enough platform to grow, or how much capacity do you need? Expansion to other states? Question mark.
Well, I can start. I think, first of all, you could picture it as a doubling of the footprint. Well, in number, it is in factories, it is a double, right? Or in sites. And that is how we intend to invest as well, to bring this new plant up to the standard of AAK, to the capability of AAK, and to a volume that is representative as a, call it, average plant in AAK. And with that, we can, of course, serve that market. But I think, as Dheeraj said, obviously an opportunity to grow further. And maybe if you add on to what I just said.
No, absolutely.
So do we intend to be able to deliver to the northern states as well? That's what I at least heard in, I think, Per's question.
Yeah, I think we, at this point of time, we supply to northern states actually, but definitely, as we see that more and more investment coming up in the northern state for the global accounts and the national accounts, I think we'll have to prepare ourselves on that, and that's what we continue looking for.
And I think also just to add to it, you said it, Dheeraj, in the presentation, just to underline it, there are opportunities to also export from India.
Yes.
So the stronger we become, the more of a critical mass and hub we have the opportunity to serve neighboring countries and potentially reach into Southeast Asia. We obviously have other plants in the region, but I think this strengthens the opportunity for AAK to optimize how we serve these markets.
Thank you. And to the gentleman over there, yes.
Thank you. Oscar Lindström with Danske Bank. A question a little bit about how integrated AAK India is with the rest of AAK. I mean, to what extent are you selling product lines that have been co-developed outside of India to multinational customers in India? And to what extent are you co-developing specialized or solutions produced specifically for your Indian customers?
So, as I shared that, around global accounts and national accounts, so we have a strong, we have a customer innovation. So first question you asked about how much we are integrated to AAK Global. We are one team. So we are one team. Yes, the legacy of the company, the history of the companies that we started with a joint venture, and we took 100% shareholding in 2020, and that's where the transformation journey started in terms of culture also. So if I click the button on the culture piece with that, it was also around the better behaviors, which I talk about collaboration, because we have the global knowledge. We have a history of 150 years of doing co-development in various parts of the world, addressing different challenges with the different customers. So that was a starting point for us. So that's the one piece. So we are definitely integrated as one team over there. Few other pieces, so we started with, a modern customer innovation center. So we have the same technology or the same equipments as we have in Aarhus in our chocolate innovation center. in India also. So we have the same equipments when it comes to chocolate lab actually, and similarly in the other industry segments with that. And then the magic happens in the co-development cycle where we understand the customer needs better and go through the cycle of ideation and development with that. We have in our customer CI we have close to 35 people working in customer innovation team, working closely with the global industry teams to do the development with that. And what you saw is actually the global accounts where our business increased. That's the co-development which has happened locally in the Indian market. And why it is local Indian market? Because the climatic conditions are very different actually. India is a tropical country with that. So a solution in Europe actually I can pick up from that as a starting point or empirical formula for me, but I need to tweak it for my Indian conditions. So that's from climatic perspective. Second, in terms of food ingredients, the raw material landscape, like Shea actually is not allowed in India. So we have another solution for CBEs, for chocolate customers, which is our local supply chain, which is SAL actually. So that's where, I think truly we are taking learnings from our global organization, but translating into the local needs with that.
I think it's fair to say what you just saw was a good example of a global organization in a decentralized structure. So a lot of the strategic execution is really done by Dheeraj and our team, applying it locally, but at the same time, I think you saw the elements of the global strategy of AAK that you articulated, but certainly deployed given the local trends, the local needs. So very much driven by this team in the decentralized structure. Little interference, but at the same time leveraging global capabilities.
Following up on that, is that similar to how you run other geographies as well, essentially, that they are sort of independent in their execution of the strategy to a large extent and have very sort of localized product offerings as well?
Yes and no. So yes, it is representative very much. And at the same time, I want to build on that to say, can we do better? Yes, I think we can. Are there times where we miss an opportunity or we reinvent the wheel working on the same thing in India as well as in Brazil, let's say? Yes, there is. I mean, we're far from perfect. We can learn more, we can leverage more, but at the same time, we are indeed doing that. So there's always a balance in a decentralized structure. How much is decentralized, how much is aligned, how much is standardized processes versus complete freedom? And we are always trying to calibrate that, not to slow down, but at the same time to really leverage that. So I think it's representative, and at the same time, we can do better in optimizing that balance.
Thank you.
I think we have a gentleman over here as well. Petronella, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Karin, the Handelsbanken. Thanks. I wasn't aware that that India has so many babies or childbirths, more than twice the amount of China. So how should we think about the infant nutrition opportunity in India, given the... So could you help us size the, for example, the size of the middle class that can afford these products going forward, and if there's any major cultural differences compared to China? So I guess the question is that how patient should we be with the infant nutrition opportunity in India before it as well is larger than what it is in China?
Yeah, I think the first milestone for us is regulatory approvals for OPO actually. That's what the dossier is submitted, and we expect the approval to be coming to us in 2023, expected with that. So, after that, so that's one hurdle with that. Then comes the second is around comparison between mother feeding as well as this one. But, in India, what we have seen that, with the lifestyle changes and with both the parent working nowadays in India, both in the middle class, both, wife and husband are working with that. We see a great opportunity with that. We did some primary and secondary survey in a way just to check on that, and we found that there is an acceptance for this one. It's all about getting this regulatory approval done, and that's what we expect that this will be offering from our from AAK basket actually for India actually going forward.
Is it an existing market in India today of any meaningful size?
Yes, there is as I mentioned about the nutrition business that we do is primarily coming from infant formulas, but it is not OPO based. These are infant formulas which are made with the oil mixes that we supply.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one question here submitted. India is promoting a vision of Made in India to encourage local and international companies to develop and manufacture products in India. How does that impact AAK?
Make in India is an opportunity for us for AAK. Now we have 2 manufacturing sites in India, and I see that so starting with Make in India concept with that. So most of the multinationals are looking for localized specialty ingredient solution. What makes us this as an opportunity for AAK with our co-development approach, as we talked about, with a global organization, a global knowledge, and having all the process technologies at our manufacturing sites, we are able to develop the solution which are currently getting imported into India. And I can share an example also. During COVID time, it came to us an opportunity. So one of the biggest iconic international chocolate brand, they were importing a specialty ingredient from some country actually, and they reached out to us that they were looking, okay, we were looking for a local solution. Can you develop that? And we had the technology, we had the knowledge as a part of the global organization. We translated it into a product actually, and that product got sold actually. So with our, I will say that with our co-development approach, with a global reach, and understanding of our customer, it's an opportunity for a company like AAK in India.
Thank you. Seems that it's crystal clear. And Dheeraj, you will be back when we do our wrap-up Q&A. So don't go far.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.